Members of the jury, this action is brought by the plaintiff against the defendants. The claim of the plaintiff is that while one of the defendants was driving an automobile which was owned by the other defendant, and while it was being driven with the permission of the other defendant, the owner, and under the control of both the defendants, and while the plaintiff on the 25th day of October 2007 was in the act of crossing Park Avenue at 93rd Street on the southerly side of 93rd Street, due solely to the negligence and carelessness of the defendant operator of the automobile, and without any negligence on the part of the plaintiff. The defendant's automobile ran into and struck the plaintiff and caused him injuries, and on account of these injuries he has suffered damages, and he asks for those damages from this court. The defendants deny the claims of the plaintiff, deny any negligence, and deny that the plaintiff was free from negligence on his part, which contributed to the happening of the accident. They also deny the injuries as claimed by the plaintiff. An issue is thus raised by the claims of the plaintiff, as he has stated them in his complaint in this action, and the denials and the claims of the defendants. And upon this issue, each side has produced witnesses who have testified in the trial. And there also has been produced certain documentary evidence which has been marked in the case as exhibits, and after the presentation of this testimony and evidence, a question of fact is raised thereby, and the court is submitting that question of fact for determination to the jury. The jury alone are the judges of the facts. In determining the facts, the jury must fairly and impartially consider all of the evidence, that is, both the testimony of the witnesses and the exhibits in the case. The jury alone are the judges of the credibility and weight of the testimony for each of the witnesses. In doing this, the jury is at liberty to consider the appearances, manner, and demeanor of a witness as he is testifying. The jury may take into account any bias or prejudice, if any, of each witness as it is disclosed by the evidence or testimony in the case. The jury may consider the character, intelligence, and environment of the witnesses, and any influence to which the witnesses are subject. The jury may also consider the witness's opportunity for observing and the means of obtaining the knowledge from which the witness testifies. The jury may apply their own everyday knowledge and experience in their determinations and test the statements of the witnesses in the light of probability or improbability, and look for all the appearances and circumstances which, to the jurymen, indicate truth or falsehood. On any material fact, that is, a fact necessary for the determination of the issues as to which there is direct conflict of testimony, the jury may bear in mind the instructions of the court, and they may consider this testimony and conclude which of the witnesses and testimony is to be believed on such facts, and whether the testimony not believed is the result of defective memory or impaired recollection or mistake, or whether the witness giving such testimony willfully testified falsely. If the jury find that such testimony is false and that the witness giving it willfully gave it, then the jury may disregard such witness's testimony either in whole or in part, and in doing so may give consideration as to whether or not the testimony is corroborated by other evidence given upon the trial. The jury may consider the interest, that is, the probable gain or profit in the event of success or loss in the event of failure, of the parties or any of the witnesses in the outcome of the litigation.